Yeah, I'm a engineer at StyleSeat, a full stack engineer, senior engineer. I have a background actually in music. I was a performing musician and a teacher for the beginning part of my career, and then I transitioned over to tech. Worked for some consulting agencies and for some startups, and then spent a good chunk of time in a fintech before finding and falling in love with StyleSeat and joining the company. Yeah, I mean, it's a hard question because I still feel like I am learning, and that's something that I think that people. I've done some teaching of coding as well, locally partnered with the Utah um, State Education Resource and Training Center to help teach some refugee high school students. And I think that sometimes there's this idea that like you'll teach yourself stuff and then like one day you'll wake up and somebody will like give you the engineering crown and then you'll know everything and you'll be done. But it's not really like that. And there's always hard things and there's always things um, that are new and interesting and difficult and sometimes scary. But it took me honestly, so it took me a year before I got paid for a little bit more than a year, probably like a year and 3 months. Even though I do see myself as a technologist, I don't believe in automation for the sake of automation. And I don't believe that technology should supplant the human value that we have like every day and the connections that we have every day in the world. And so it was important for me not to jump into something that was like really focused on ad revenue or something that was really focused on taking, making robots that would replace auto workers. Who drew me to StyleSeat in that manner is that StyleSeat um, is like serving a community of people who have a very hard job. They're on their feet for long hours during the day. They're serving like the individual, like emotional and physical needs of their clients. And on top of that, they're largely either, renting a chair from somebody else or just like trying to run their business out of their home. And as like with my musicianship background, I know how hard it is to be pursuing like a career that's your passion, but also doing all of the marketing and all of the logistics and all of the accounting and everything, right? It's like you have to be wearing like 10 hats at the same time. And when I looked at what StyleSeat was doing, I realized that like, hey, this is actually like letting the stylists, um, the masseuses, everyone who is providing these services focus on what is really their passion and focus on directing their energies towards the clients and letting the StyleSeat platform take care of like the headache part. And one of the things that I really appreciate that I actually haven't experienced to this degree in other companies is the level at which like A/B and product testing is leveraged for like every single feature, and the way that our product team is so organized and has like really applied their intelligence and creativity to say like, here's a hypothesis that we have. Okay, let's not just like say that like we're the smartest, we're the greatest, we must have been right, we came up with it, but we put it out in the app and then we test it, and then if the hypothesis is proven and we hit the metrics that we want to, then the code or the feature, we then harden it and put it into production. And I've been at places where we've done some A/B testing, user testing for sure, but never with this level of rigor. And the thing that I really like about that is that I know that when I'm coding something and it makes it in production, that it's actually going to have the impact that we hope. We're not just YOLOing stuff and being like, well, we'll see you in 6 months. If this worked, great. Otherwise, we're going to be in trouble. But like we really have very strong indications that when something does make it into production finally, that it's going to have the impact that we want. Yeah, I'm really hoping to expand my skill set on the back end, um, and apply the skills that I've been expanding there onto the overall API design of our endpoints. And so I'm really hoping to uh, take the experience that I have, which has been designing public APIs, and help leverage that experience in a way that it's not imposing, my, again, my viewpoint of how things maybe should be doing into the StyleSeat environment, but taking the lessons learned of how API design can be discoverable and maintainable from a public perspective into our private API.